This is Big Leagues Country Roads Rankings. Yoo-hoo!
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome on these Country Roads. The Country Roads Rankings brought to you by Knox Community Hospital. The top 10 small school football teams, divisions 5, 6, and 7 in North Central Ohio. I am Travis, KMAC Trav Berardi. A lot of KMAC schools that have been on our list in the last couple of days. Not only a couple of days, but a couple of weeks. Not only in the Country Roads Rankings, but as you'll see tomorrow, the stats leaders as well. But before we get into the top 10, I have a few teams that are just on the outside looking in. First, a couple teams that I thought had a chance that could make it, but fell last week. Danville, they had a loss last week, over from 2-0 to 2-1. They're still on the outside looking in. Seneca East, they dropped from the ranks of the Country Roads Rankings with a loss. And then two teams that, one of them was in there at the beginning of the season, dropped out, have a chance to come back in, and another one with a big win that puts them just so much closer. Loudonville, that team, they beat Hillsdale. Big win, 14-0, dropped Hillsdale from the ranks of the Country Roads Rankings. And then Centerburg, big win against Worthington Christian, had that lead 21-0, almost lost it, but at the end had the big touchdown by Tyler Johnson and company to get the victory. So those are the other categories. Let's get into the top 10. And welcome for the first time to the Country Roads Rankings, the Willard Crimson Flashes, that high-powered offense. You're at 2-1 right now. You're going to head to St. Joe's Central Catholic this week, a team that Buckeye Central already defeated. So, hey, we may see a 3-1 Willard team and maybe staying in the top 10 next week, but they got to take care of business. But for now, hey, you are one of the top 10 teams in the Country Roads Rankings. Now to our number 9 team, Calvert, 2-1. They fell to St. Paul. They were up higher, I believe 6 or 7, I think I had last week. Dropped down now to number 9. It was a tough loss. St. Paul's a good squad. They had a rough start to the season. 0-2, they get their first win. But I think this is a St. Paul squad that, like other teams, they'll have a chance at a Firelands Conference Championship. They got the big matchup in Week 9 against Crestview. So it's a tough loss for Calvert, their first of the season, but to a good team in St. Paul. At number 8, another team welcome into the rankings, Mapleton, the Mounties, at number 8. They got a big one. They host Lucas this Friday night. They get a win against Lucas. They'll probably jump a few spots up into the rankings, but we'll have to see about that because those Cubbies, they got that RPO going on, and it's tough to stop that. But Mapleton, welcome as well to the Country Roads Rankings. You're in at number 8. At number 7, those Buckeye Central Bucks, they just keep winning, don't they? 3-0. They take on an 0-3 Mohawk squad, a Mohawk squad that I thought was going to have a chance at a Northern 10 championship this year. Really tough start in their non-conference. Can they bounce back against a Northern 10 foe, or can Buckeye Central get one win closer to clinching a playoff spot already? And I say that because I've been griping about it all year so far. 16 teams, I think is a little too much, but you only need 4 or 5 wins to get in, and Buckeye Central's well over halfway there. So 3-0 at number 7, the Bucks of Buckeye Central. Now to number 6, a team that I had high hopes before the beginning of the season, a team that dropped to a good Highlands squad in the first week, but have won 2 straight. That's Fredericktown, the Freddies, 2-1, bouncing back. They got their offense going with Tegan Rule, Cade Carpenter and company, and you may be seeing Tegan Rule tomorrow on the stat leaders. That's what we call teas in the business. Anyway, they got a big one against Danville. Danville's wanting to get back into these rankings. They'll have a chance. They knock off Fredericktown, they'll probably make it in, but if Fredericktown can get the victory, they'll keep them in those early KMAC championship hopes alive. Now to number 5, and down to North Bloomfield Township, the Northmore Golden Knights. They just keep winning as well, despite losing a lot from graduation last year. They hold off South Central at South Central, 28-20, thanks to Maxton Lauer, another name you'll probably see in the stat leaders tomorrow. But the Golden Knights, 3-0. Their game will be seen live and free on the OH Report with our WBCO crew, so you'll be able to hear them in the Bucyrus area as well as watch them on the OH Report and the WBCO WQEL Facebook pages. That's Friday night for that game. 3-0, Northmore. At number 4, the Colonel Crawford Eagles. Very impressive victory going down to Howard, Ohio, and handing East Knox another loss. 37-7 as well. They played, they looked just like Crestview did the week before. These are two really good teams going into Howard, and very rarely does East Knox drop 2 in a row, so that's a impressive win for the Eagles, who stay at number 4. 3-0, they go to Bucyrus, so good chance we'll see them at 4-0 and stay right there. At number 3, staying put at number 3, the Lucas Cubs, after a very impressive win at Winford. And we got a new segment here on the Country Roads Rankings brought to you by Knox Community Hospital. We're going to highlight one team each week that's in the rankings, and this week it is the Lucas Cubs. I had a chance to talk to head coach Scott Spitler yesterday. They were practicing in the rain because that's what they do in Lucas. It doesn't matter if it's rain, snow, sleet, hail. They're kind of like the post office. They are out there no matter what. But this is what I had to say, and this is what head coach Scott Spitler had to say at practice.
Hi, Coach. 2-1. Got a big one over Winford last week. Just over the last 9.5 seasons, what's been the key to sustaining your success?
I would just say that, our kids' ability to continue to come to work every day and put selfishness aside and put the team before their individual goals and things. And then the expectations set from year to year with each senior class and passing the torch, so to speak. And then we got tremendous support from our parents and our community and our schools. So it's just everybody working together is what made it a success.
I think, at least I believe, you have one of the best off-season programs in the area for a small school especially. It seems like no matter what time of the season, your kids are bought in. Just what goes into keeping them, up during the off-season and, getting ready for the 10 weeks of the regular season?
I just think that, there's been a commitment, and I think with the off-season commitment comes, they're seeing it pan out in the fall. And so whether they're in multiple sports or not, our guys are very committed to getting in the weight room. Our basketball players come in early before school to get their workouts in. Track athletes in the spring come down after track practice to get their workouts in. So there's a commitment. They're not scared to put that time in to get better and improve just individually, but as a group, and that's been extremely helpful for us.
And finally, in my Country Roads rankings, you guys are 3rd behind undefeated Cary and undefeated Crestview. Just give your side of things on why you should be right where you are or why you should be higher in the rankings as one of the best small schools in the area.
That's for all you guys to worry about. Our focus is on being a better Lucas team each Friday than we were the Friday before and going 1-0. And with our schedule, it's never easy. We just it's one tall task to another. Seems like everybody seems to be a lot bigger than us up front in the trenches, and so you hope you stay healthy and just continue to work to get better each and every week and be a better version of yourself, and that's what our focus has been. And we know the teams on our schedule are quality teams, and we got to come ready for a war or a battle every Friday night.
All right, Coach, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So those Lucas Cubs sitting at number 3 go to number 8. Mapleton on Friday night, another top 10 matchup. They had one against Hillsdale, pulled out the 14-13 victory a couple weeks ago. So we'll see if Lucas and that RPO can give Mapleton its first loss of the year, or can Mapleton continue to impress and move up the rankings. Now to the top 2, which, as you expected, has not changed. At number 2, those Crestview Cougars, 3-0. Creeping closer to Cary, though. I have it pretty much 1A and 1B now because a very impressive win over Dane Nauman and company in Highland. A big victory at the Cougars' Den for Crestview to go 3-0 and finish out that non-conference schedule for now. They got to face Lucas later on, which should be a really good game. You'll see live and free on the Oach Report in a couple weeks. But they take on Western Reserve on Friday night, looking to stay unbeaten and keep that hope for an unbeaten season alive. And, as expected, number 1, those Cary Blue Devils. 19, I believe, in a row? 18 or 19 wins in a row since that Week 1 loss last year. They just continue to impress despite, once again, I say this every week too, losing almost everybody offensively. They got a couple other running backs that just filled in. They have a good quarterback. They have a good defense. They have a good everything right now. They're sitting at 3-0, sitting pretty. They head to Winford to see if they can keep Winford off the win column once again. But Cary, I always say this, you got to be the man, you got to beat the man, and nobody's been able to beat the man yet. So there you have it. Like top 10 Country Roads rankings for week number 3. A lot of great matchups coming up. Do we see teams creeping in? Do we see teams drop out, move up, move down? That's the beauty of it. That's why I do this. We'll find out this time next week. But for now, we'll see you down those country roads.